What's going on, football fans? Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome in to the Truth League Report. We're going to go ahead and get started in just a few moments. We're definitely going to go over uh, big some of the big games that happened over the weekend. Give you my top five games and also my top five ballers. And since I normally do a show on Wednesday, uh, I have a little bit of a dunce of the day that I have to call myself out on. Well, twice I have to call myself out on. So we're going to get ready to get started in just a few minutes. So hopefully all NFL fans come on in, share this show out. I'm going to be sharing it out in just a moment. I'm sharing this out to everybody right now. So that way everybody know they can come on in and and watch. And we're definitely going to get this show started in just a bit. So everybody, come on in. I don't care if you're a Titans fan, Eagles fan, Chargers fan, Cowboys fan, Browns fan. I don't care if you're a fan of any other NFL team. Come on in. This is for all of you. We're definitely going to get into all of that, and we're definitely going to have some fun, and we're going to definitely talk about week 5 in its entirety and everything. So get ready. We're going to get started in less than 60 seconds. Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? What's going on, Titan Nation? How's everybody doing? Welcome everybody in to the Truth League Report. Y'all forgive me, I'm gonna get this right. There we go. Welcome into the Truth League Report. I am Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. And I thank y'all for tuning on into this show. I see we have some Eagle fans in here. Definitely. So I definitely understand that they're excited with being the only undefeated team in the NFL. Definitely make sure y'all share this show out. Definitely share it on Instagram at Tides_in_truth. Also, share it out on Facebook as well, and also on on Twitter as well. So definitely make sure y'all share the show out, and as we get ready to talk about all of these games, a lot of these games that happen, and you know who who are the top games that I enjoyed, and the top games that I thought were really really great. So again, make sure y'all share this show out. We're definitely going to get right into everything. I am actually trying to share the show out as we speak to a lot of other pages, um as far as like the AFC pages and NFC pages. I'm definitely trying to do that as well. So that way everybody can come on in. Again, I don't care if you're a fan of any other team besides the Titans, you come on in. But we'll talk about some breaking news before we do get into the games. We'll start with some breaking news that did happen, and that is that the Panthers, the Carolina Panthers, have fired their head coach Matt Rule, of course, after they started off 1-4, and since then has decided to replace him with the passing game defensive coordinator Steve Wilks. Who will now be taking over as interim head coach of the Carolina Panthers. So, this is pretty interesting news that has come out. And I mean, this, is starting off, of course, they start off 1-4, and they obviously did not have a great year last year either. And so, because of that, Carolina basically has decided that they're going to go in a different direction. They decided that things just did not go well for them. So they were 1-4 this year, and then of course last year they finished 5-12. So right now he was only 6-16 as head coach of the Carolina Panthers. So they're going in a different direction, and a lot of people are thinking that this could be a fire sale that could end up happening in Carolina with them giving up a lot of their players. Guys like wide receiver DJ Moore, who could be on the Titans radar. Another guy, right now there's rumors that Buffalo is very interested in Christian McCaffrey. Another guy that could be out there, Robbie Anderson, the wide receiver. Brian Burns, a pass rusher, could possibly be made available. And also Derek Brown, the big defensive lineman, is another guy that could be made available via trade. Shaq Thompson could be another guy that could do that as well. So there are definitely a lot of things that the Panthers could do. They could, basically stockpile picks and decide they want to go in a different direction. And that is something that I could definitely see happening. I could definitely see where they decide, what, we're not, we're just not in a very good place right now. So we just need to go ahead and just punt this season away and decide to go in a much different direction. So that is definitely something that they could end up doing. I don't know if they will do that yet. Hopefully the Tennessee Titans do get on the horn and definitely try to see if they could get a DJ Moore or to see if they could get a DJ Moore or if they could get a Robbie Anderson. Brian Burns wouldn't be that bad of a guy either. I definitely could get down with that. And so this is something that could be very that could actually be big going forward for a lot of other teams. I mean, it's going to be a lot of competition for some of these guys. So we're definitely going to see what the Carolina Panthers decide to do. But Matt Rule fired as the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Ty Fox says Buffalo isn't good enough. I don't think CMC will bolster anything. We should look at offensive linemen if they are in a fire sale. I don't know if Carolina has a really good offensive line, so I wouldn't really go with that. Buffalo, yeah, Buffalo is just fine the way they are. But I mean, you know how a lot of times the rich get richer. I mean, look at the LA Rams. You know what they've done over the years. They gave a lot of money to Aaron Donald. They go get Jalen Ramsey. They went ahead and got OBJ. They now got Allen Robinson. They trade for Matt Stafford. So, there are some teams that are like, if they're going for it now, they don't mind just going for the jugular and just being like, you know what, we just go all out. We trying to win a Super Bowl. And so You know, Buffalo could be one of those teams that's like, you know what? Let's just keep going. Let's just might as well just spend everything and go win a Super Bowl right now. So that's something that they could definitely do. It would not shock me. It would, definitely not make me happy to do so, for them to do that. But if they do, it would not shock me. It would not shock me at all if they did that, because sorry, I was taking a quick picture. So, it would not surprise me if the Carolina Panthers did do something like that with the Buffalo Bills, and definitely tried to make a trade, for Run CMC, and definitely tried to bolster up their roster and try to go get a Super Bowl. But there's going to be a lot of teams that's going to be trying to, cash in on the possible fire sale of the Carolina Panthers if they decide to do that. So Matt Rule fired as the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. Definitely trying to see, there's definitely some stuff out there with OBJ being a possible target. Um, I mean, OBJ still, of course, is coming off of a ACL tear. So I don't know if OBJ would be the right choice for the Tennessee Titans, but I could see him being something for somebody else. I could definitely see that. The roughing the passer thing that's been going around here, I just think, with what happened to Tua, now it's starting to get really ridiculous because of, what happened with Tom Brady in the game, you know, in the game against the Atlanta Falcons. I mean, it's you know, you basically cost the Falcons a chance to win the game because you decided to call a stupid penalty saying roughing the passer. He never got rid of the ball. I mean, basically, what are you trying to say? Basically, if a defensive player hits a quarterback with the ball in his hands for a sack, you're just going to call it now. I understand they're trying to protect the quarterback, and with Tua, what happened to him is like you're thinking you're throwing him down, but I just think the NFL is starting to get too soft. And that's, again, that call against Grady Jarrett was ridiculous. And then also the call against Chris Jones in the game against the Raiders also was ridiculous. And I mean, it's pathetic. They're basically trying to turn this into touch football. You can hit everybody else except the quarterback. I'm like, the quarterback is out there in pads too. This ain't no time to get soft. Football's a violent game. Every single player out there knows what they signed up for when they play ball. Now, I am not condoning helmet to helmet hits and things like that, because I know concussions are a major thing. And of course, we want these players to be able to grow old, be with their kids, still have a good equilibrium and things like that. Absolutely. I am not against that at all. What I'm saying is, if you see the penalty, if you see that the quarterback is not in any danger, if it is not where the quarterback is like, oh my God, I'm hurt, or my head is killing me, and it's like concussion protocol, then you take that quarterback out, evaluate them thoroughly, and you keep going. Now, if the quarterback is defenseless, let's say the ball is off, then 3 or 4 seconds later, bang, runs into him. Okay, I get that. That's roughing the passer. I get that part. But if the guy is simply going in, shoulder into the quarterback, no helmet to helmet, quarterback goes to the ground, that is a legit sack. That is not roughing the passer. Come on, refs. Don't be ridiculous. Don't get soft. And that's what I think the NFL is kind of starting to come into. It's getting soft, and I don't like it. And so I just think you got to, yes, you got to protect players. And sometimes you got to protect players from themselves. But at the same time, these players know exactly what they signed up for. Football's a violent game. I played it back in the day. And I know some of you watching also play football. So, when all of that goes down, I mean, it's okay to hit another player with no intent to injure. In Grady Jarrett's sense, there was no intent of injury. There was no, he was trying to just throw him down or anything like that. I'm like, come on. It's ridiculous. So, 615 podcast saying they're trying to turn it into a 7-on-7 league. That's basically what they're doing. That is basically what they're doing. They're turning it into 7-on-7, pitch and catch. Quarterback gets no pressure. Can't deal with no quarterback hitting them. My quarterback, Ryan Tannehill, got sacked 5 times yesterday and got hit 13 times. I didn't see not one roughing the passer penalty get called. It might have been one. But I'm like, come on, y'all. This is football. Same thing can happen in college football as well. Same thing. But you don't hear it as much in college football. But you're hearing it a lot in the NFL, and I just think it's ridiculous. But let's keep going. Let's definitely keep going. Going into the top, our top 5 games of the week that I saw. And I'm going to go ahead and pop the scores up. So y'all will see all the scores from this week's games. But these were my top 5 that I thought I enjoyed the most. So coming in at number 5. Let's see. Trying to make sure I have all my stuff up here. Let's see. Give me a second. Now, a couple of honorable mentions, I will say. One was the Miami Dolphins and what they did to the New York Jets and what they did to the Miami Dolphins. I thought was pretty impressive. I thought it was impressive what they did. I thought it was I thought what what the New York Jets did, putting up 40 on the Dolphins, even though the Dolphins, they were without Tua, then Teddy Bridgewater goes down in concussion protocol, and Skylar Thompson has to come in and basically play the whole game, and then the Jets took full advantage of that. So very impressive what the Jets have done at 3-2. Definitely a surprise there. And I mean, again, and another honorable mention, I have 3. The New York Giants, what they're doing now at 4-1. Yes, that is correct. I said it. 4-1. The New York Giants are 4-1. I know, shocking. The Giants are right behind the Cowboys and the Eagles at 4-1. Never thought that was going to happen. But right now, the Giants are proving what they're doing is not a fluke. And, the Eagles, 5-0 on the year, beating the Arizona Cardinals. It was a good game. The missed field goal at the end definitely helped soften away the game for the Eagles. But I thought that was actually pretty good, a pretty good game there as well. So the Jets, the Giants, the Eagles are my honorable mentions. But coming in at number 5 for my top 5, my top 5 games. Again, my honorable mentions, what the Jets did 40-17 over the Dolphins, the Giants 27-22 over the Packers, and the Eagles staying undefeated 20-17 over the Arizona Cardinals. But coming in at number 5, the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. And I have to admit, the Bears are playing a lot better than I thought. I thought the Bears were going to stink. And they may end up doing so. And they're at 2-3. I think they're in a little bit better of a position than a lot of people thought. I mean, Justin Fields, I know, has to continue to improve. I like David Montgomery out of the backfield. He definitely does some good. But going to the team that did win, Minnesota, Kirk Cousins started off hot. I think he completed his first 17 passes and got Justin Jefferson going early. Justin Jefferson, usually a resident baller on this show, had 12 catches, 154 yards. Dalvin Cook had a couple of touchdowns in the game, but definitely the Bears had a chance to get down and tie the game. And one of the Bears caught a pass and got the first down, but tried to go for extra yards instead of getting out of bounds. And then Cam Dantzler rips the ball away and seals the game. That's just, great wherewithal by Cam Dantzler to rip the ball out of there and essentially win the game for the Vikings. So, 615 says, Titans win without heart palpitations. Yeah, Titans give you a heart attack every game. He said, if you would have told me the Giants would be 4-1 5 weeks in, I would have told you that you were crazy. I think a lot of us are saying that. I don't think anybody saw the Giants at 4-1 at this point. Extremely impressive what they are doing right now. And I don't think a lot of teams could just figure them out like, what the heck is this team? So, got to give some credit. Definitely got to give some credit to the New York Giants. But number 5, Minnesota. Kirk Cousins completing his first 17 passes. Danielle Hunter had a sack. Dalvin Cook did some good things, some good play calling definitely was going on. And they did get the victory. And they are 4-1 as well. So the Vikings looking pretty hot right now in the NFC North. At number 3, I'm going to go ahead. At number 4, I'm going to go ahead and get this one out the way. The Buffalo Bills are a killing machine. They are a legit killing machine. Like, they are just going after everybody. They're 4-1. I know they lost to the Dolphins, but the absolute clinic they put on the Pittsburgh Steelers was massive. Josh Allen threw for over 300 yards in the first half. First half threw for 300 yards. And I'll be talking about more guys in just a bit. Stephon Diggs did his usual thing, his usual line of work. 8 catches, 102 yards. Josh Allen threw for 424 yards in this game. Threw for over 300 in the first half in a 38-3 rout. I thought Pittsburgh was at least going to keep it within 2 touchdowns. That did not happen. Buffalo is a killing machine. Bank on that. They are the best team in the NFL. And I know a lot of Eagle fans will basically argue that point because they are undefeated. I will put the Eagles at number 2. Buffalo is a killing machine. They are the great white. The Philadelphia Eagles, they are the eagle. that bird in the sky symbol for bravery, that American symbol that everybody can get behind. But Bills Mafia is going crazy, and they should, because that team is legit. Very much legit. At number 3, I'm going to go the LA Chargers defeating the Cleveland Browns 30-28. And I'll say this. Again, there's a guy or two I'm going to talk about later on. But this was a very good game on both sides. Austin Eckler had a big game. Mike Williams had 10 catches over 100 yards. Amari Cooper had a big touchdown. And I'm going to say this. Justin Herbert is a very good quarterback. But I will also say Jacoby Brissett has held the ship together. Even though they're 3-2, I want to say. I'm sorry, they're 2-3. But Jacoby Brissett is proven to be a very serviceable quarterback. Extremely serviceable quarterback. And, I mean, he's been doing it for years. He did it in Miami for a few games, held them together. Did it in Indianapolis too. Jacoby Brissett holds it together and does a very good job of that. So I am definitely impressed with what Jacoby Brissett has been able to do. Of course, they have that good running game, with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. But this is a very good game. The Browns had a chance to win at the end, but the field goal was no good, and the Chargers escape 30-28. This was a very entertaining ball game. Got to give it that. Number 2, the Baltimore Ravens beating the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, I know there's a certain somebody, my little brother, that is not happy about this result. However, I'm good with it because the Cincinnati Bengals still won me a little money. They were a 3.5-point underdog, and they only lost by 2. So I won some money off of the Cincinnati Bengals. But this was a very good, just a very good hard-fought game. We expected it to be. And, both teams were just fighting, scratching, and clawing. And Justin Tucker did what he always does. Clutch. Because the Bengals had their chances too. Definitely had their chances. But at the end of the day, Mark Andrews, 8 catches, 89 yards, and a score. Mark Andrews is definitely a very underrated tight end in this league. But I still think he does a lot of good. And, defensively, they tried to come around. This is probably the best defensive performance that they put together. And so the Ravens at 3-2, they're going to be a team that could be there at the very end. Could definitely be there at the very end. But the Bengals could definitely be there too, even though both the Bengals. But my number one game of the day, of the week, and I know this is going to set Cowboys Nation ablaze, but they're 4-1 with a 22-10 victory over the LA Rams. 5 sacks on the day for the Cowboys defense. And they did get an interception on Matt Stafford. They got a block punt as well. And definitely scored a defensive touchdown as well off of a strip sack. Cowboys at 4-1, still very impressive. And what you're seeing is that the NFC East, which I think a lot of people thought was just going to be an albatross of itself, has actually turned into a pretty tough division. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens when these two teams start really fighting it out amongst each other. Of course, next Sunday night is going to be a big showdown. A couple of big showdowns coming up next week. Obviously, Bills and Chiefs, the rematch. That's going to happen at 3 o'clock next Sunday afternoon, which I would have thought maybe that could get flexed to Sunday night, but Cowboys Eagles is Sunday night. So that's what's going to happen there. But the Cowboys, I mean, Cooper Rush, all he does is win. He didn't have to do much. You know, Tony Pollard had the big touchdown run and everything. And I mean, again, Cooper Rush didn't have to do much. Defense really did the job for the Dallas Cowboys in this game. So I was very impressed with that. Definitely was the number one game of the week for me, Cowboys and Rams. So now that we've done our top 5 games, now who are my top ballers from this week? My top 5 ballers of this week. And we are definitely going to talk about that. But before we do, I definitely want to, first of all, say thank you to everybody for helping me hit over 1,200 subscribers. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And also make sure you hit the like button as well. Subscribe to the channel so that way you get all the notifications when I do go live and everything like that, whether it is for Titans and Truth TNT tonight, or if it's for the Truth League Report, and I'm talking about all the other games that are going on. Also, of course, I'm going to make sure I mention any of the big news that does come out. So I definitely do say thank you for that. And if you want some Titans and Truth swag, definitely hit me up on any of the pages that you follow, whether it be, at TNT Enforcers on Facebook, on Instagram at Titans_in_truth, or on Twitter at TNT Blue Enforcer. Definitely follow those pages if you want some Titans and Truth gear. You could definitely hit up Miss Latoya Akinyemi at Queen Butterfly Tees on Instagram, or queenbutterflytees@gmail.com. That's her email. If you want a Titans and Truth hat, like you see in the graphic, they can do it in your favorite team. You can do it in your favorite team. Definitely go to @OutTheCrib Customs. That's @out_the_crib_customs. And he can definitely hook you up with a nice hat. So if you do that, you're helping me, you're helping them, you're supporting them, you're supporting the channel. So I definitely would appreciate that very much so. Truth League Report is keep going. Again, we're going to mention my top 5 ballers from the week. And I'm going to start off. I'm going to definitely start off with number 5 in a losing effort. I'm going with running back Nick Chubb, who is one of the better running backs in the league, not named Derrick Henry. An absolutely fantastic back. He definitely gets it done. 17 carries, 134 yards. Had 2 touchdowns in the game, had 2 TDs in the game, and definitely kept the Browns in the game, where they also had a chance to win. And so shout out to Nick Chubb, who of course is leading the league in rushing at the very moment. Of course, a certain somebody I know who is the real king of the NFL is 6th in rushing, not very far behind. And I think he's not only going to catch Nick Chubb, but will pass him at some point. But Nick Chubb, one heck of a back, had a heck of a day. Number 4, got to go with the Cowboys defensive lineman Torrance Armstrong Jr., and I got his name wrong. I'm going to fix that right now. Torrance Armstrong Jr. who had a big sack, a strip sack in the game, and he had the strip sack that caused the first defensive touchdown, and then of course blocked a punt that set up a field goal for the Cowboys as well. So I mean, I could have easily put Micah Parsons on there. He had 2 sacks. He's a resident baller as well. But I wanted to give it to an unknown guy, Torrance Armstrong, who had a very nice game for the Dallas Cowboys. This is going to be the theme. Today is a running back ballers theme. Today, number 3, Jets Breece Hall, at running back, the rookie out of Iowa State, who had 18 carries, 97 yards, and a touchdown, but also had 2 receptions for 100 yards, including a big catch against the Miami Dolphins. It definitely sprung them free, and I mean, it was a big one. It was a very big play that he definitely had. I mean, over 197 all-purpose yards, had a 79-yard reception. So that was what was the big play for him. And then he also had 97 yards on the ground. So Breece Hall at number 3. Number 2 baller of the day, Gabe Davis from the Buffalo Bills. Had 3 catches, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns, including a 98-yard reception on their opening drive of the game, where the Bills were backed up inside of their own 5, just launched it out to Davis. He catches it in stride and was gone. And then he caught another touchdown one-handed with Minkah Fitzpatrick right there with him. And Fitzpatrick tried to draw the ball away from him, but was unsuccessful. The Bills being a killing machine as usual. I could have went with Stephon Diggs. I could have went with Josh Allen, but I thought Gabe Davis had a big game right there, number 2. And my number 1 baller of the week is Chargers running back Austin Eckler, who had 16 carries, 73 yards, and a big touchdown as well. He also, of course, does a lot of things on the ground. In the air as well in the passing game. But, he had 4 catches, 26 yards. He also had a receiving touchdown. I forgot to mention that. So Austin Eckler had 2 TDs on the day as well. And so, a very versatile running back that is basically a do-it-all, and everything. So Austin Eckler, has definitely earned his money, earned his keep. I know there were some people thinking, maybe trade him. He could have gotten traded at some point, but did not. And so I'm pretty sure the Chargers are glad they did not trade Austin Eckler and they brought him back. And so he definitely paid dividends for them and had a very nice game for the Chargers, getting the win over the Cleveland Browns. So those are my top 5 ballers of the week. Definitely retrospect again. I'm just going to quickly review Nick Chubb with his big day in the loss to the Chargers. Cowboys defensive lineman Torrance Armstrong helping the Cowboys beat the Rams. Breece Hall with his 197 total yards in defeating the Miami Dolphins. Gabe Davis's 2 touchdown day as the Bills completely wiped the floor with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Austin Eckler's big day helping the Chargers beat the Cleveland Browns. So before I do get out of here today and everything, I do want to talk. I usually on Titans and Truth, I give out a dunce of the day. And usually I do that usually I do that when I usually do that when I think somebody performed badly or somebody really stunk up the game. And so today I'm going a little personal. I'm going to say a dunce of the day is me. And I say this because as y'all can see right here, I am wearing a 901 is greater than 615 shirt in honor of a friend of mine who got this for me for a birthday present. And hopefully she's watching. As many of you know, I have a true love for the city of Nashville, Tennessee. That's where that's where I've lived quite a bit. That is where I've, resided for the last 10 years, but I am originally born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee in the 901. And so, a lot of times I wasn't huge on coming back to Memphis because I know there's a lot of crime. There are a lot of things not to like about Memphis as far as crime. Job market isn't always great. But there are a lot of things to like about Memphis. There are a lot of nice things to do here, with good food. You have Memphis in May, the barbecue contest. You have a lot of like the Mid-South Fair and things like that. You have the Memphis Grizzlies who are going to be starting their regular season. Can't wait to watch them in action and things like that. So, to everybody, like I said, I put myself on blast, and I apologize to a dear friend of mine, Miss Crystal Hayward. I am sorry for how I acted for this gift. Thank you for this shirt. In this retrospect, 901 is greater than 615 because 901 is where I'm from. And I will always say I'm proud to be a Memphian, even though sometimes I may not act like it. So I have to take accountability for myself. And I hope my friend is out there listening. And I hope I can be forgiven. I'm sorry and thank you. And I thank all of y'all for tuning in to the Truth League Report. And even though the Tennessee Titans did not have a game, there will be Truth League Report as I will make my picks for week 6. And we will definitely recap week 6 as well. So we will definitely talk about that and everything. But hopefully everybody has a very good rest of your Tuesday. Thank y'all for tuning into the show. If you are late to the show, definitely go back and watch it. We'll definitely be out. Again, I'm Blue Enforcer, aka The Truth. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as well. Also, all shows are going to be on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts as well. Definitely download that. Give me a rating as well. And if you haven't already, like this show and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. But thank y'all for tuning into the show, and y'all have a very good rest of your Tuesday.